Yes, sir. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Any Given Sunday podcast. We will be your host. I'm Hunter. This is Tyler. Tyler, let them know what we're talking about today. Tyler's in Cozumel, if y'all didn't know that.
Yes,
Live.
sir. Yes, sir. We are on vacation. Today, our topics we are discussing are looking like we're going to be discussing some NFL news. We're going to be ranking the AFC South. We will be discussing quarterbacks that have something to prove this year. We got early award predictions. We got current state of running backs in fantasy. Over in NBA, we're going to be talking about the new flop rule,
Mm.
the mid-season tournament. We got a one of the greatest players of all time. He deciding to stay in the NBA and continue playing. And then in UFC, we'll be discussing the return of a superstar. We'll be talking about a young prospect who is on the rise and has been knocking everyone out and sleeping them or finishing them in the first round. We'll be talking about a great welterweight, at least I think. And then we'll be discussing who we think the next double champion will be. So, yeah.
Awesome. There we go. Um, so starting off with the NBA, we're gonna start with what quarterbacks are on a prove it deal. Or a prove it year. Not even a prove it deal, on a prove it year. Tyler, I'll let you start off with that one.
All right, guys. So we're just gonna dive right in. I'm gonna go ahead and hit both guys. We do appreciate everyone for being here, but we're gonna try to like trim it down a little bit. We don't want to be here for keep you guys for too long. I know everyone has a life. For my quarterbacks on a prove it year, we're gonna start with one of the obvious. Well, at least I feel it's obvious, right? He can't win. I don't know how to explain it. When it comes to playoffs, like I mean, he can get out of the wild card, but he struggles after that. We'll be talking about America's team's quarterback, Dak Prescott.
Dakota.
Yep. So my issue with Dak and why I think he's on a prove it year is because if he doesn't perform, I mean, your options are. I mean, you're either looking at Mike McCarthy getting fired or maybe they trade Dak. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do with Dak. I don't know if realistically if they would trade it. I just feel like Dak really has something to prove. I mean, the NFC has never been easier. Um, so I don't know. I just feel like Dak is a easy choice for someone that needs to prove something this year. My other one, we'll hop in a little bit more. We're going to be talking about this guy. Uh, he is the Miami Dolphins quarterback, Tua. I'm not going to try to say his last name. I'm going to butcher it.
Tungavaloa.
Um, he's got the whole concussion issue. And they obviously seem to be in a win it now position. They just traded for Ramsey. They traded for Bradley Chubb last year. You know, Tyreek only has a few years left. He's came out and said. So the window is very short. So if they don't win it all this year and Tua gets hurt a lot or he just isn't that great, I could see them moving him for, I don't know, maybe this sounds crazy, but because I don't know if they could win it with this guy either. But I mean, you could see maybe Kirk Cousins. I don't know. That sounds terrible to say,
Yeah.
but I mean, I don't know. I feel like they might bring in a different vet quarterback if Tua doesn't perform this year, because they have all the pieces there to try to win it all now. So those are my two guys. I hope Tua stays healthy. That team is very fun to watch whenever he's healthy. So
Good old Perk Thuggins, baby. All right, I did two AFC, two NFC. I won't go too much into two of them because you kind of hit both of them. AFC, I have Mac Jones. Uh, I mean, it's a young team and they're building, but I don't think Mac Jones is, especially if he doesn't take that step this year. Mac Jones isn't that guy to build around. Um, Next in the AFC, I do have Tua. Like you said, they're in win now mode. The concussions are going to hold them back. I'm super, you know, like shook. They actually didn't grab a quarterback this year or attempt to go quarterback. I guess it was probably easier to just hold on to Tua than do a bunch of trades and break the team up. NFC, I do too have Dakota Prescott. Um, I think his contract's up either. I think he has like 2 years left on it, and if they don't get it done this year, then I just don't see them. You know, like we said in episode one, this is the year for them to get it done. And if they don't get it done this year, then
someone's
yeah,
gonna go.
someone's got to go. The coach, the quarterback, something. And everyone can say, I saw a post the other day talking about these are Dak's numbers his first 7 years compared to like Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, all these guys. I'm like, well, you know what? Those guys won a ring. So I don't know what to tell you. Dak threw 23 touchdowns last year with 15 interceptions. I know he was hurt, but 15 interceptions is still insane.
In a limited amount of games.
Yeah. Um,
So
I won't harp on Dak too much longer. I also think Kyler Murray is on the block. I mean, the Cardinals, they lost D Hop, JJ Watt retired. I mean, they still have, a decent team. They still have James Conner. They have, good tight ends. They have a decent receiving core.
but
They're
all
in a
but
tougher
all
division, but
but all signs are pointing towards Caleb Williams if they don't
yes.
start pretty. If Kyler's not ready and they don't start pretty, all signs are pointing towards tanking and then just trading Kyler.
Yeah, you might as well. I mean, you know, D Hop is not getting 1K. Henry gets injured week 7. God dang. I mean, I really don't. I mean, D Hop might get around 1K, but I wouldn't expect anything crazy. So yeah, that's our AFC and NFC quarterbacks who are on a prove it year. Next, we are going into ranking the AFC South. Just so everyone knows, that is Jacksonville, the Colts, the Texans, and the Titans. Tyler, I'll let you start this one off.
All right, this is something that we usually harp on, so let's just go ahead and bang out the whole division, both of us. Yeah, so I'll be starting with number 4. I mean, I feel like the top 2 teams are going to be the same. I feel like the top 2 teams are going to be the same. So, but my 4, I went ahead and I went with the Colts. I mean, they did draft Anthony Richardson. I do like him as a prospect. I just don't know if this year if he's going to be able to perform at a level uh that'll get them, I don't know, more than 5 wins, maybe 6, I don't know. So yeah, I got the Colts in last for obvious reasons. I hope Jonathan Taylor's back. I don't know if that'll be enough to carry them past 4th place though. Third, we're gonna go with the Texans. They just got D'Amico Ryans from San Francisco. I like him as a coach, very defensive-minded guy, obviously. They traded up, took Will Anderson, great linebacker prospect, and whatever you want to call him. And then they took CJ Stroud at 2. So I think they have a lot of good pieces there. I feel like as long as D'Amico Ryans can put it together, this team will be solid. I could see them winning 6 or 7 games, finishing 3rd place.
Where'd he come from? He came from the 49ers, right?
Yep,
49ers defensive coordinator.
Yep, he was the defensive coordinator over there. But in 2nd place, we're gonna go with the Tennessee Titans. They did just get D-Hop. Unfortunately, that wasn't enough for me to move them up at all. I mean, even if he's solid, I don't see him. I don't think a wide receiver can carry a team like that unless it's like Justin Jefferson. I don't know. So I got them finishing 2nd. I think Will Levis will take over at some point as well. But I've already said that to you several times. I've said that in general several times. I don't think Ryan Tannehill will make it to the end of the year. I just think his era is over. So
They also have what's his name too, Malik
yeah, but
something.
Malik Willis,
Yeah.
they've said Malik Willis might not even make the 53-man roster. So yeah, I don't. Yeah,
Tough.
I mean, obviously you got Mike Vrabel at coach, and anytime you got a coach like that, like you're gonna be solid. Like I mean, I don't. Jackson. It came down to the last week for those teams, I believe, right? Like, wasn't the last week was for the division.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, we might see the same thing if Jacksonville doesn't come out gun blazing, which they might not. But yeah. So speaking of Jacksonville, that's my 1st place team. They won the division last year. They won a playoff game, big comeback against the Chargers. Trevor Lawrence seems to have taken that step at the end of the year to get him over that hump. And then you also add Calvin Ridley into the mix, and they took Tank Bigsby in the draft. So I feel like they have a lot of good pieces, and they have Doug Peterson as coach. So
Great coach.
it's a solid team, and I'm really looking forward to watching them play. They're going to be such a fun team to watch, I believe.
Absolutely. So my AFC South predictions, we're going to start from bottom to top. I have the Texans. I think it's going to take a little bit for the new quarterback to adjust to the system, to the NFL. I mean, obviously they did take a step up from Davis Mills. The defense, I actually really like the Texans defense. I think the coach they just got, I think that's going to be a huge thing for them because that defense, I think I don't remember how good it was last year, but the year before they were actually a really good defense. So they have a lot going for them. They have a lot of good young talent. They have some receivers coming back. They have I think they have a lot. I think they need to address the running back room very bad. I think it's going to be a little bumpy at the start, and that's why I think my next team, the Colts, are going to do a little bit better. They got some vets over there. Um, I kind of see Anthony Richardson's year going kind of like Josh Allen's first year. You know, he's probably going to do a lot of running, a lot of short passes. But what's good about that team, and why I have them a little bit above the Texans, is they have Jonathan Taylor, who I think will be back healthy this year. And they have a pretty decent defense. Um, Next, I have the Titans. They added D Hop. I mean, we said last week that Traylon Burks does need, you know, a guy in the locker room, a vet that's going to show him, you know, show him the way. And he got that guy. Now they're not a pass heavy team; they're a pretty run heavy team. Um, I'm not expecting a lot from them. I mean, you know, what we get from them when they had AJ Brown, I mean, it's going to be about the same thing. D Hop's towards the end of his career, so it's not like you're getting prime 160 targets a year D Hop. That being said, next I have the Jags, super young team. They got some core pieces coming back to the offense that you know, they didn't have last year. Pretty decent defense, a lot of young guys, and they like to, you know, they like to play behind their quarterback Trevor Lawrence. And I think he's going to do nothing but get better and better every year. So yeah, from bottom to top, I got Texans, Colts, Titans, and Jags. All right, running right into the next topic. We have the This one might take a little bit longer because it's pretty long. We have the award predictions, our early award predictions for 2023. That's you know, MVP, Coach of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year. Tyler, do you want to do all of them, or do you want to do your MVP, my MVP?
We can do that. We just won't spend too much time explaining why.
Yeah.
So, you want to go, or you want me to go ahead and start it out?
I'll go ahead and go first.
Okay.
Who was MVP last year? Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
Who was it the year before? Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
So the quarterback of the year award, I'm gonna go with, and it was hard to not pick Patrick Mahomes on this, guys, but I'm gonna go Joe Burrow. He got that left tackle he needed. Um, you know, so I think, and as long as Jamar Chase stays healthy, I think he's gonna put up the numbers we need to see for him to get his first MVP award.
Fair enough. You want me to go ahead?
Yeah.
All right. For my MVP, we also went with Joe Burrow. Ironically enough,
Okay. Okay.
they bolstered that O line, as he just said. Picked up Orlando Brown from free agency. He still has plenty of weapons around him. We got Joe Mixon returning. Yeah, I just think it's his time, right? I mean, stay healthy, and I think this is Joe Burrow's award to lose. I
Did you,
mean, no disrespect to Mahomes too, because Mahomes I
yeah.
would say would be my second
Yeah, I
pick,
would say,
but
I had to sit there for a minute. I don't know if you did, but I was like, I don't want to give it to Mahomes 2 years in a row. I mean, it could happen,
they could
but
very easily.
I was like, I kind of want to give it to someone different, and the only
Yeah,
other person I could think of was Joe
Joe
Burrow.
Joe Burrow. I mean, the second best quarterback in the league. So
I was
yeah, I go with Burrow.
I actually looked up a list of, like, you know,
The
potential.
odds.
Yeah, well, not really well, I guess like but I found a list that was like dark horse players, and one
Hmm.
of them, you know, would be pretty cool. With what's his name, Jared Goff. And I looked at his stats last year. His stats were pretty good. I mean, he
Yeah,
probably
but
put up about Joe Burrow numbers.
yeah,
Oddly
but I mean,
enough,
Geno Smith had good stats too, but we
true.
also think he's gonna fall off. I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah,
I definitely don't think Goff will be even in the MVP
yeah.
conversation, but he just doesn't sling the ball enough. I'll go ahead and do my offensive player of the year.
Okay.
For offensive player of the year, I could have won Jefferson 2 years in a row, but they did add Addison on that team. They traded for Hawkinson, so I think I think they'll try to spread that ball around a little bit more this year. I went with Tyreek Hill. Kind of crazy, but he did say on his podcast he's going to put up 2,000 yards. So
Oh,
if he does that, I feel like he's just an easy pick for Offensive Player of the Year. I mean, has there ever been a receiver put up 2,000? Did Randy Moss do it on that undefeated Patriots team?
I think
Or
that's
did,
the. I think
or
what
did, I know he did.
2019 is the record or something.
Oh, Cooper Cup. Was it 2,000 though? Was it 18 something?
No,
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 I don't know.
someone else has the record.
Who was that? Was it? Let me look at this real quick.
It is okay. I guess no one has ever put up 2,000. It's Calvin Johnson with
Yeah, I,
1964.
I figured it was Calvin or Cup or Moss. But yeah, I mean, if Tyreek puts up 2,000, just like Cooper Cup, he's gonna win Offensive Player of the Year. So that's my pick. I mean, Tyreek Hill's got the skill to do it. We'll just see if he does it or doesn't do it.
All right, so I was actually sitting here when I was thinking of offensive player of the year, and I typed out Tyreek Hill, but I just, I pulled it back because Jettis is an insane receiver. He went for 1,800 last year. I do know that they got Addison there, and I did take into account that he will get less touches. I still, with that being said, I thought he was going for 2,000 this year, but I still think he'll go for at least 1,800.
At least
Yeah, at least 1,800. So I can see him winning it back to back.
that's fair.
All right. So defensive player of the year.
You hopping in or me?
I'll let you go.
Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, he just went 2 years in a row with Jefferson. My 2 years in a row for me is gonna be Nick Bosa.
Ooh.
Defensive Player of the Year, just literally the heart and soul of that defense. I mean, he is insane. I mean, it's really hard to pick, right? I mean, it's probably gonna be you got like four picks here. I think it's gonna be either Micah Parsons, Miles Garrett, T.J. Watt, or Joey Bosa.
Mhm.
So I think any of those four solid picks. I just went with Nick Bosa again because why not? He just won it last year. I expect him to be just as dominant, barring injury. So we'll go with Nick Bosa again.
Okay. So my defensive player of the year. We said this team, like we have said the last 2, 3 podcasts. If they don't have a great year, change is coming. And, if you're a fan, you might as well go find a new team because y'all haven't seen a Super Bowl in 20 plus years. My defensive player of the year, I have Micah Parsons. He was trending for it last year and he kind of fell off towards the end of the season. I think it was because of an injury. Um, but yeah, I'm going to take Micah Parsons as my defensive player of the year. Dude just plays with so much energy and seems unstoppable. I just think that this is his year to take that award home.
Fair point.
So before we get into the rookie of the years, did you do coach of the year?
I did. I
I
did.
I did do coach of the year. I think we'll do coach, then we'll do comeback player, then we'll do the defense or the offense. Jesus, sorry guys, the rookie offensive and defensive player of the years. So I'll start this one off. Coach of the year. For coach of the year, I went Dan Campbell. Uh, I have a lot of high hopes for the Lions this year. They made they made playoffs last year, right? Or did
Yeah.
they?
No, 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 no. They lost
They
because Seattle
Yeah, it
won
was like yeah,
earlier
yeah,
that
yeah,
day.
yeah. We put them out. So playoff ready team. I think they have the core. I think they have the young guys on the offense. Their offense was solidified last year. They knew what they had to change on the offense to make that run. They did it. They added some defensive players. I think they're definitely going to be in the playoffs this year, and I think they're going to get it deep enough I think they're going to make it deep enough to where Dan Campbell can get some coach of the year action.
I'm not even gonna give a bunch of detail. Coach of the Year, Dan Campbell for me as well.
Wow. Wow.
Uh, I just think same reasons. They have a lot of momentum to build off from the end of last year, and they don't have a super difficult division to do it in. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna win the division, right? Minnesota is Minnesota, saying that like they have a great history or something, but there's not a lot of competition they have to deal with here. So I went Dan Campbell as well.
I like it. I like it. All right. So comeback player of the year is weird for me because I'm not sure the criteria for it. And I think it's gonna either go one of two ways.
It's
I
gonna go
mean,
one of one way.
you
I can already tell
think
you.
you're
I
going Damar Hamlin?
Yeah, Damar Hamlin.
So
I
like
mean,
I think he deserves it for even coming back to the game at all. But I just didn't know what the because so say Cooper Cup comes back and goes for 1,510 touchdowns, you know how
they'll
like
they'll still give it to Damar
I
Hamlin.
mean yeah, that's why the whole thing yesterday I was like, are they going to do it for the narrative, or are they going to do it by stats? And I mean, like I said, coming back to playing football from what he went through is insane, and I think he would definitely deserve comeback player of the year for even touching the turf again. So I respect it. I think he has it on lock already. So yeah, I'm assuming we both went Damar Hamlin.
I didn't even write it down. I already knew it.
Okay, well there we go. Damar Hamlin is your comeback player of the year. Um, all right, I'll let you start offense and defensive, whichever one you want to start with first.
All right, we'll do defensive rookie of the year first. I took the easy way out. I went with the third overall pick in the NFL draft, Will Anderson.
Okay.
I mean, we've already talked about who their head coach is and D'Amico Ryans. I feel like he's gonna just set Will Anderson up to succeed, and yeah, I mean, I don't. This class was really like more offensive heavy in my opinion. So it's kind of, I mean, what, Jalen Carter maybe, but Jalen Carter is surrounded by dogs. So unless there's like injuries all over that Philly defense, I feel like it's Will Anderson's, draft or not draft, but award to
Okay.
lose. So
So my defensive player of the year, I actually did choose Jalen Carter. I
rookie.
yes. Did I say? Did I? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So defensive rookie of the year, I chose Jalen Carter. I just think being surrounded by all those dogs is going to be a good thing. I think offenses are going to have to worry about more, so I think he's going to be able to eat a little bit more. With the Will Anderson is his name on the Texans, right? I think
Hmm.
he's going to be one of those guys that they're going to be able to game plan around. It's going to be a little bit harder to you're not going to game plan around Jalen Carter. So I think not game planning around him, you're going to be able to eat more than someone that they're having a game plan around. So I have Jalen Carter, defensive rookie of the year.
All right, you can go ahead and hit your offensive rookie of the year.
Okay, so my offensive rookie of the year is probably wrong. I just didn't want to give it to a quarterback because I feel like that would be too easy. And also the rookie quarterbacks that could win it are all on pretty bad teams. I mean, the Panthers, no run game, no really good standout receivers. The Texans, no run game, no really good standout receivers. The only one that has pretty, okay receivers and a good run game. What do you like to bring up all the time? He completed how many percentage of
Like
passes and
like 53 last year
yeah,
in
so
college.
and like I said, I think he's gonna be more of a Josh Allen guy, so he's gonna be running a lot year one. So my offensive rookie of the year, I went Bijan Robinson. I think that being said, I mean that's still a developing team. They do have some decent receivers. They have a really generational great tight end once he gets it all together. They have a question at quarterback, but I think that's going to help Bijan out because I think they're going to run a lot more. So yeah, my offensive rookie of the year is Bijan Robinson.
All right, and I considered Bijan, right? Kind of an easy pick. He's the most like I would say he's the most popular player probably in this draft, at least for fantasy people. I don't know.
Definitely.
Uh, but I did not go with Bijan. I just feel like there's a lot of mouths to feed there in Atlanta, and we don't know what we're gonna get with Desmond Ritter yet. So, I did take a quarterback. I took Bryce Young. Uh, Obviously he went number one overall. In quarterback, when it comes to rookie of the year, I feel like quarterback. I mean, as long as you play decent, it's gonna go to the quarterback most of the time. So I went with Bryce Young. I just think he's the best quarterback of the three, at least when it comes to actually playing the quarterback position, like throwing the ball, making reads and all that. And he does have solid pieces around him. I wouldn't say they're great, but he has, Miles Sanders in the backfield who could catch some passes for him. They just drafted Jonathan Mingo, I think. I want to say it was Jonathan Mingo. We'll see what he does.
Mingo.
We'll see what he does. He's out of Ole Miss, so I mean, he seems like he's a solid receiver if he can stay healthy and just develop the way they need him to. We'll see. I can't think of all the receivers' names, but Bryce Young's a good enough quarterback that I feel like he can make the talent around him a little bit better as well.
And if I went quarterback, that's definitely who I would have went. But yeah. All right, that was our award predictions of the year. Hope y'all go and y'all take that knowledge and y'all make some money off of it. We are not promoting gambling. All right, so this one should be pretty interesting. The current state of drafting running backs in dynasty and fantasy in general. So we'll say, put it into perspective. Say you're like fifth, sixth pick. All your top running backs are gone. There's no Derrick Henry. There's
McCaffrey.
no McCaffrey. There's no Barkley. There's no TJ.
Can I
Say
get a margarita?
get this man a drink.
Yeah.
Say all the good run. You're just in a position where all the good running backs are gone. Tyler, what would your draft strategy be with? Say you're not going to go receiver. Say you still have to go running back. What would your draft strategy be in getting a good backfield for your team?
Well, if all the good running backs are gone, like let's just pull this up real quick, at least on my end, right? Um, let's say McCaffrey's gone, Derrick Henry, Eckler, like let's say they're all gone. For me personally, it's gonna be a little bit difficult. Anyways, for me personally, right? Let's say that those guys are gone. I mean, you're talking about Tyreek Hill's probably still there. I don't know. I'd probably take the best the best player available over a running back. I mean, we saw a few years ago with one of your teams, right? He did take Derrick Henry. But Derrick Henry, that was the year Derrick Henry only played half the year. So like his lineup was, this was the Rams Super Bowl year. His lineup was Stafford. I can't name a single running back he had on his team
I ended
after
up with
Derrick.
DeAndre Swift at some point, who
Yeah,
got hurt as well.
but and it kind of helps that he got Cooper Kupp in like the 5th or 6th round. But
Yeah,
this is exactly what we're talking about. So he had Cooper Kupp, CeeDee Lamb, Kyle Pitts, and there's like one more like really good receiver.
I had
I don't know.
Jettis.
Jefferson, okay, and Jefferson wasn't even his first round pick. It was Derrick Henry. So I don't know. I just feel like unless there's like an explosive running back still available, you take the guy that you think is going to perform the best for your team. You don't really need a running back. So like, because you can get a running back in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th round, you can take them whenever the time's right. You don't need to rush to take a running back. I mean, at least that's how I would approach it.
So, do you think obviously, like, all those running backs come off the board, you're going to go like a receiver or something because running backs. So I guess this is the question I'm getting at. When you go to draft a running back, say you're like, it's time, I need to take a running back. You
Mm-hmm.
can't. Would you recommend? So, how important is getting that running back's cuff to you in the state of running backs right now? Because if you don't get one of those top guys, you're getting a guy that is most likely going to be splitting reps. So, how
Yeah.
important would you say his cuff is?
I mean, it's important, and he's probably gonna be there. So I mean, I don't know. I'm doing a mock right now. So like, I'm at the 6th pick. I'm at the 6th pick. CMC and Eckler are gone. Jefferson's gone. Jamara's gone. Kelsey went number 2, uh, which is crazy. So the next best running backs on the board are Bijan, Barkley, Jonathan Taylor, which are all very good. Nick Chubb is still there. So, I mean, my choices for me right here are Cooper Kupp or Tyreek. So let's just say I take Tyreek, right? I'm the 6th pick. So, and it's
Hmm.
12 man. Barkley and Robinson are gone. JT just went. We're wrapping back around. Nick Chubb just went. We're 2nd round, my pick, Derrick Henry. Still on the board. I took Derrick Henry. I had Derrick Henry and Tyreek Hill. I feel like that's a really good start for a fantasy league right there.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're wrapping back around again. Brees Hall just went. ETN's still here. Jameer Gibbs, Walker. I don't know if I take Gibbs personally, but I mean, I don't know. I just feel like everyone's got their opinions on certain guys and stuff. So
Yeah.
you don't. I feel like it's just a waste of picks to stack up on running backs when you could get
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill and I don't know. I'm gonna take. I mean, I would never do this in reality, but I took. We'll take T Higgins. So I got Tyreek, T Higgins, and Derrick Henry. I'm not super big on T Higgins,
No, none
but
of us are. Yeah, so I would say like don't stress too much about running backs. Once you look at it, there are a lot of solid guys still running the ball in the NFL that you're gonna have to grab their cuff later in the draft just in case. But yeah,
oh, I'll say this. I
if
mean,
there are
drafting
solid
against people.
receivers there, you draft that receiver before you draft that running back, and like if like
Drafting against people in the league is easier.
yeah, say Jamar Chase is there, and top three of the top running backs are gone, and you had to choose between Derrick Henry and Barkley, and who else was left? Chubb. I'm going Jettis. So,
Yeah, Jefferson
because
went one though. He's probably gonna go one all year.
yeah, running backs are deep in depth. Receivers are no. I think. I mean, it's still harder to get a running back. You can get hella receivers, but running back is still a various because running backs just get injured. They're in a committee. It's hard to like last year. I won because I had you know Jamal Williams helped me a lot, and he was a running back too on a team. So, but yeah, that is our
That's an example right there in itself, right? I mean,
yeah like
where do we think Jamal Williams was going in drafts last year? And this guy was
oh dude,
how many touchdowns did he score? He scored like
12
quite a few.
plus, 12 plus at least.
Yes, I
Let me
mean,
see where he went in our draft if I can remember how to do that. Like, where did I draft him or did I trade for him? I can't remember. I swear I drafted him. League
uh,
draft. No, that's draft settings. Um, league history. No, that's that. Draft results. Boom. 2022 season. Team non. I actually didn't draft him. Okay, he got drafted in the 14th round. Jamal Williams got drafted round
I took
14,
him.
top 13 running back, and he had. I remember I gave you a first or a second for him.
It
Remember?
was a first. Yeah, you gave me a first round pick for him.
Um, how many touchdowns did he have last year? 17 rushing touchdowns. That's insane.
For a guy that you probably got.
Backup
Well,
running
I got
back.
him in the 14th round, and that's in Dynasty.
So you
I
can find
mean,
some dimes out there, especially with the dual running, like the running back committee now. You just have to know, you just have to try to get the whole committee. Like, like I was pick nine last year. Derrick Henry, Najee, CMC, and Jonathan Taylor were gone. I mean, there was still DeAndre Swift, Dalvin Cook, Joe Mixon, Saquon Barkley, Austin Eckler, and Nick Chubb. And I went CD Lamb and I won the league. So, I mean, granted, we did a lot of moves last year, but that being said,
yeah.
I got both my running backs in round 2 and 3, and I kept them all year. So
And so I just pretty much, I'm not going to finish this mock draft, but I picked from the sixth spot. I took Tyreek Hill. I took Derrick Henry, T. Higgins, Joe Mixon in the fourth round, DJ Moore, Dak Prescott, Evan Ingram, Quentin Johnston, Samaje Perine, Rashad Bateman, Deontay Foreman. I mean, we don't even know who the running back in Chicago is truly going to be.
yeah, that could
I'm
be
going
a
to take
league winner.
I just took Roshan Johnson the very next round. I mean, he's on that same team with
Can
Foreman, so
we
I have.
can we clip? Can someone clip Tyler drafting Joe Mixon? I just need that for future reference.
Well, he was there at 4.7. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, I definitely think it's worth taking cuffs. Look, Chase Brown, I'm getting him in the 13th round. So I have two running backs for Chicago, two running backs for Cincinnati. I got Derrick Henry I got Samaje Perine in case Javonte gets hurt again, or if he's not 100% when the year starts.
I don't even think he
So,
starts the year like
or oh, look at
playing.
this! Look at this. Last round, I'm taking Ty Spears, running back for Tennessee Titans. So I think it's good to lock down backfields like that instead of taking a
Yeah,
bunch of
like you
different
lock
running
down the
backs
whole
from
back.
different teams.
Like as soon as they started talking about Barkley sitting, I went and got his backup. Thank God
Yeah,
Kelly picked him up and then dropped him. But
yeah.
uh
I just feel like I don't know. I feel like running backs are good if you can get a top running back. I
yeah.
mean,
But if
outside
you
of that,
don't,
it's all about just drafting guys at the right spots.
yeah, if you don't get like you can get a decent running back just if you don't get a top guy. And even if you do get a top guy, I would still say later in that draft, make sure you get that backup because you never know what's going to happen. And having the whole backfield is going to save your fantasy league or your team at least. You know, everyone that keeps drafting CMC, if you don't have all five other running backs behind him, what are you doing?
Yeah, at least Elijah.
Yeah. So that is our current state of drafting running backs in Dynasty. We are going to be heading over to some very controversial topics in the NBA now, starting with the new NBA flop rule that's being implemented. Tyler, I'll let you start this one off.
Yeah, I mean, so what exactly is the rule word for word?
I got it right here if you actually want me to read it.
Yeah, go ahead and read it. Go ahead
The
and read it.
flopping penalty will be assessed by game officials when they perceive a physical act intended to cause a foul on another player. The offending player will be charged with a non unsportsmanlike technical foul, which means it will not be counted towards an ejection, and the opposing team will be awarded a free throw.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm okay with that, honestly. I mean, a lot of people don't like the flopping as is. It
Mm-hmm.
only started becoming a thing because guys weren't getting the calls that they
James
felt they
Harden,
deserved. LeBron James.
don't do this.
E-
but that's
either way.
but see, it's I'm gonna give the big guys their because they're getting mauled in the lane,
Mhm.
right? It's
You
these
know
little
LeBron.
guys flopping, bro. That
Yeah. I mean, it's been around for about almost 10 years now, if not 10 years. I don't know. I feel like it's good for the game, right? Because I mean, a lot of players aren't gonna like it because they're used to flopping, and
Mm-hmm.
they have to now they gotta like what's it called? They gotta like change their game up a little bit. But I don't know. I'm okay with it. I feel like it's good for the game and might get people back into watching it that haven't been
Yeah.
necessarily watching it because they were tired of the flopping. So, but
So
yeah,
so here's my thought on the rule. It can go one of two ways. It's either going to be really good for the NBA. It's going to bring back a lot of the guys that like, the old heads that like the physical play of the NBA and stuff like that because it is going to get physical again. Um, so I mean, it definitely has a positive side to it. It's a step. It's a step in the right direction. That being said, do you remember when the NFL put in that you could challenge pass interference?
yeah,
And that didn't work out whatsoever. Flopping is a part of the game now, and I'm unfortunately having to say that. So you're gonna have a bunch of different officials are all gonna perceive flopping differently.
yep.
Um,
It's gonna be hard. Also, it's gonna be you're gonna have to like basically be able. It's the same thing as they say in the NFL, right? It's got to be what's it called? What's the word? Where you have to have like proof to overturn it.
yeah,
It's gonna be the same thing. Like
and they're
how do
not
you
gonna be out
prove
here reviewing every flop.
and how do you prove that they are or aren't flopping? It's gonna be interesting, right?
The
We're gonna see some controversial.
This rule is either going to get reworked a lot. It's either going to get reworked a lot through if they keep it. It's either going to get thrown out I mean it's going to cost some games. Like I would not be surprised if we saw this cost some playoff games this year. Um that being said, uh do you have anything else on the flop rule?
Nope.
Awesome. Speaking of playoffs, we're going to talk about the NBA midseason tournament getting implemented this year. Tyler, I'll let you start this one off too.
Well, anyone that knows me knows I love pretty much all sports, at least when it comes to like basketball, football. Like I like college and the professional level. They're
I
both
just started
entertaining to
watching
me.
soccer.
I about to say that they're both entertaining, and soccer, right? Soccer does a kind of a mid-season
I,
tournament
just a little
or
sidebar,
beginning.
guys. I will say I used to think soccer was not fun to watch. Since I started bartending, I started watching it. That stuff is intense. When
Especially if
it
they
comes down to
score
those
like the end of the
penalty
game.
kicks, boy,
Um,
I was out there sweating when US was playing, bro. Still can't believe Panama beat us, bro, but they did it. All right, my bad. I'll let you get back to the midseason NBA tournament.
yeah, I mean, you're good. I mean, either way, I mean, I don't know exactly how it's gonna work, right? Because like they can sit here and explain it. That doesn't mean it's gonna be that simple.
I was reading it and it was super weird. It's like so every team this year is going to have 80 games to play. The additional games are going to be from the midseason tournament. And if you win the tournament, I think you play an extra game than the people that lose the tournament. So what's like that's just
I
going to
don't
make the
know.
rankings weird.
It's confusing. What I heard was I thought what I heard was that if you win it, it goes towards some kind of like it goes towards like playoffs or something like that. I'm not sure, but I don't know if that's enough to make these guys motivated or even care. I mean, are they going to care? Are they going to treat it like an all-star game? Like I don't know. We'll
See,
see. I mean,
yeah, that
yeah,
was my thing.
I think it sounds fun, but we'll just have to see how the players react to it, right?
Yeah,
Because from what I heard, all they get is like some extra money, and
500K.
and it might go toward. I mean, who cares about 500K though? You know, I mean,
In the
let's be
NBA. Who cares
no, no,
about
no.
it in the NBA? That's what he meant.
Dylan Brooks just got 80 million, so Dylan
Not
Brooks just
Dylan
got
Brooks,
80
bro.
million. So I don't know. I think it's gonna be it might be fun from a perspective, like from a fan's perspective, but
Hey,
I don't know if they're even gonna care.
if you catch me in the woods fighting a bear,
Right.
help the bear.
Yeah, the I thought didn't the Champions League final go to penalties too? I don't know. I
Bro,
feel like
I just know, bro, it went to penalty kicks against Panama, and then they tied, and then it went to sudden death penalty kicks, and I was like, this is some insane stuff. All right, so my take on the NBA midseason tournament. I personally think it's an awful idea. I don't think players are just going to see it as the game, right? They're just playing regular season games, you know, just to just to get to where they need to be. Like cuz like winning the midseason tournament is not going to matter if you don't win the finals, right? Where you go around talking about we won the midseason tournament. No one cares. Um I think it devalues the finals. I think what's the point? Like, you know. So I know the NBA, what the NBA is trying to do. The NBA is trying so where's probably their least viewed part of the season, right? They got a lot of viewers in the beginning because people are like, yes, basketball's back. You get a lot of people at the end because people are fighting for playoffs and getting ready for playoffs. Mid-season, I'm sure their viewership is down, and this is something to draw back. People like, oh, let's go watch the mid-season tournament. They're actually
at
going to be
Buffalo Wild
playing.
Wings.
Come check out Buffalo Wild Wings, where you can get your sweet chili lime and General Tso sauce today. Yeah, I just don't think it's a great idea. Like, it's going to boost viewership, so it's going to be good for the NBA. I don't think it's going to be good for the players. You know, I mean, obviously, fans of the game that watch every single NBA game aren't going to like it. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, I hope it works out for the best. I hope it brings a lot of casual people like me back. Like, it's going to work because I'm going to come back and I'm going to watch the midseason tournament. That's all I'm going to say. And
I
I'm
mean,
a
dude,
little
you
above
know,
average casual fan, but I'm still, I'm not sitting here watching 82
dude,
basketball games.
I used to care a lot more about the NBA, and I can't really point at anything and say this is the reason I stopped watching it. But dude, I don't know if I watched a single regular season game this year, honestly.
Maybe not.
So I'm hoping, I hope it's a success, but we'll see.
One year, me and Tyler said we were going to watch 82 games. We watched opening night, and I don't think I watched another basketball game until playoffs.
We're like, yeah, basketball's back,
Yep.
and it's over.
All right. So this next topic we won't touch on long. I just wanted to bring it up. I mean, I'm pretty. Me and Tyler, knew it was going to happen. Braun announced that the SBZ's coming back. Why did he do that? I don't know, because I feel like we all pretty much assumed it was going to happen. But, he got his good old standing ovation. A little fun fact that we found out yesterday, he's going back to number 23.
I don't think it changes anything. I mean,
We just
he
kind
was
of
he,
knew.
he was so good for so long, but I mean, I just feel like I don't know if his body. I don't. I just he's had so many injuries the last 5 years that we had never seen before. His body is
Yeah.
just kind of broken down on him.
Well, I
I do
also
think.
think we
I do
saw
think. I do think he would beat up Colby Covington in a fight, though. So yeah,
very interesting. I think the way we saw him play in playoffs is going to be more of how he's going to play here going out, more of a field general. Like he's always had the ability to, pass. We've seen him play this role before, but was also getting his,
30,
20 to 5 to 30 a
35.
night. But he's gonna take a step back. He's gonna, pace the floor. He's gonna let those young guys do their thing. He's still gonna get at least 20 a night. Don't get it twisted. That's the king, the GOAT, the one and only. But we're about to see LeBron take on a different role, and we're not gonna talk too much on it. That's just our thoughts on LeBron turning. Now, something we're actually going to get to spend a little bit more time on that we love to talk about and haven't got to because we've been rushing ourselves because the podcast has gone 2 hours the past 2 weeks. Some UFC. We will start off with a little controversial one, not super controversial, but weird, a little weird topic that came up out of nowhere at the beginning of this week. Rhonda Rousey's return. Tyler, what do we think about Rhonda coming back to the sport?
That's what I think.
I thought you were looking for the crickets.
That's what I think. There's too many killers now. She went and she played WWE for a little bit. I mean, dude,
She's
she might beat up on
36.
she might beat up on some bums maybe, but
Might go
she's
get her
gonna get
Holly Holm rematch now.
she's gonna get I mean that might she could maybe win that. Holmes kind of fell off too, so I don't know. I mean it's cool. I mean I hope she's not a main event, but
She will
yeah.
be. My thoughts on Ronda Rousey's return. I just don't think she should do it. I mean, she's 36. So the I wouldn't say the division she would be fighting in has killers in it. I mean, the top is what, Pennington, right? Or is that who no no, no
Well,
who,
first off, you got to think about there's champions at each division, right? We got
except 135.
whichever one Nunez was in, right? There's
135.
there's I think there's still some killers, but there's no champion right now. You
Yeah.
got Shevchenko lost it to I can see her face, but I can't think of her name. She's the Mexican girl. I cannot think of her name.
Grasso.
Grasso, Alexa Grasso, I think.
Yep.
But Valentina Shevchenko is still in there. So,
All right.
and then you got Wei Li
Yeah.
and another one.
Well,
So
she's
there's
not going to be fighting at
killers.
those, though.
So what? She's
She would
Nunez's.
be women's bantamweight. Juliana Pena, Raquel Pennington, Holly Holm, and Ketlin Vieira are the top 5.
Well, my thing with this is even though those people aren't necessarily killer. Well, first off, we will say this: even though she got her ass beat, Pena does have that dog in her. So,
Murder.
but there's people in that division right now. I'm telling you that are killers, and we just haven't seen them fight enough to realize that they're killers.
I can see her coming back and on some crazy stuff, getting a straight either title shot with Juliana Pena or fighting against Raquel Pennington.
That would be a big fight, though. Do the vacant title with Pena.
Yeah.
I mean, I still don't think it should be main event, but I feel like
It'd
it'll
be
definitely be main
interesting.
event.
Oh, like if it's main event, I'm gonna be sick. But
If it's main event, you guys know the vibes. We're hopping straight onto VIP League, and you know,
Uncle
better
Dana would
be
maybe make it happen. I mean,
better be a banger
God.
co-main event. You better put Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier, and Michael
Tickets would be
Chandler
selling.
triple threat
I'm
match.
not
Well,
buying a card with Ronda Rousey headlining it unless,
he means
Connor's fighting the co-main.
I'm about to say it depends on the rest of the card. Ronda Rousey's not enough to make me get excited.
Last Ronda Rousey card I bought, she got dog
Destroyed.
walked.
Dominic Cruz, Cody Garbrandt.
Jesus.
That was a great fight.
That was a good fight. That was actually a really entertaining fight. Because if another grown man hit the robot on me while I'm throwing punches at him, I'm shooting him in the parking lot. Not the main seller, but people would still want to see her. Yeah, I'd want to see her get beat up. But yeah, I mean, the reason this is even possible is I heard her like storyline with the WWE is coming to an end, and she could apparently is about to retire from the WWE. So we'll see. Is Bo Nickel ready for Khamzat Chimaev?
I'm gonna let you start with this one. Go ahead.
No, he is not ready.
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna here. I will delete the end of my notes because you guys don't realize when we have these topics, I write down like one word or a few words, but I don't. I go into it straight off the head.
Yeah.
Let's see if you can even see this. I don't think you can.
No.
That's all I wrote was no. Is Bo Nickel ready for
Khamzat?
Khamzat?
I almost, because I thought we had one too many topics last night, I almost canceled that out of the topics because I thought it was a terrible topic. He fought a guy with a 3-day notice. I mean, he murdered that dude, but
hold on. I just want to see him fight somebody better before we just assume he would even have a chance. Khamzat fought like 2 or 3 times in a 10-day period.
What is
back when COVID? We came back from COVID. He fought on that pay-per-view, and then he fought like the next, like literally 7 days after that, or 3 days after that.
What weight class is that? Is that Leon?
185. No, it's Adesanya.
See they have Khamzat in a welterweight.
Well, he fights at both.
Yeah, but he's not ranked in 185
because he hasn't fought anyone ranked at 185.
So but Bo is 185, right?
Well, I'm gonna make sure, but I'm pretty sure he is. I'm pretty sure he is. No, he's 185. 185. That's what I thought.
You said Bo Nickel's 185?
Yeah, he's Adesanya's class.
Okay, so let's see Bo Nickel beat before we start talking about Khamzat.
Just one ranked opponent.
Chris Curtis, Kelvin Gastelum, Brendan Allen. These are all people Khamzat would murder, by the way. Jack Hermanson, Derek Brunson, Paulo Costa.
I'll tell you who
Sean Strickland and Covington, or not Covington, Jesus. Sean Strickland and Chimaev would actually be a pretty fun fight to watch.
Let's just throw him right in there with Sean Strickland, right? I mean, why not?
Chimaev? I mean, it only makes sense.
No, not Khamzat. Bo Nickel.
Oh, I mean, that would, yeah.
Khamzat has already proven that he's that good. He doesn't need to fight Sean Strickland just to get ranked. We know how good he is, even at 170. And he's even bigger.
I kind of want to see Khamzat fight him, though.
I mean, I don't know who Khamzat's going to fight or when he's going to fight because
he's got to fight Sean Strickland, bro.
His last fight was like my birthday weekend. So what? September of last year, I believe.
I think Khamzat fights Sean Strickland, and I think Bo Nickel fights Jack Hermanson.
I want to see Bo Nickel and Strickland. That would be a crazy fight.
Sean Strickland's crazy, so how about he just fights both of them in the same night?
Strickland would. Did you see that video of him sparring like 2 people at the same time? Oh my god!
Bo Costa.
I think it was Curtis and someone too.
I just can't even take Paulo Costa as a serious fighter anymore.
Yeah,
so
I'm not. I don't. I'd rather see him fight Strickland, right? Bo Nickel Strickland. That would be a bit. That's like
Paulo Costa is dog shit, bro.
When's the last time he fought? I mean, he's
Luke
lost.
Rockhold.
Yeah, so he had
which he almost lost. Luke Rockhold hadn't fought in what, 3 years?
Dude, Costa's had several fights. His last
he beat Luke Rockhold. He lost to Marvin Vettori. He lost to Adesanya.
He's fought 3 times in the last 3 years, and he's 1-2. And he almost lost to Rock. I mean, that Rockhold fight. I'm not gonna say it was close. It was a unanimous decision, but he shouldn't have struggled as much.
Yeah, he's fighting this coming up card. He's fighting a Russian with a chin strap, so make it 2-2 in the last 4.
You mean 1-3?
Yeah, 1-3 in the last 4.
Yeah.
He
Well,
is not beating on Oskarov, bro. There's a V at the end of his name, and he has a chin strap. Come on now. Come
upcoming
on
fight,
now.
Paulo Costa. Let's see. Let's go look at. He's 14-1. This Ikram Aliskarov. Let's go look at Sherdog real quick. Just real quick. Just want to see if he's fought anybody notable. I don't know if he has. There we go. Sherdog. Here we go. 14-1. He knocked out Phil Hawes his last fight, which was 2 months ago. So he was on the contender series before that. He subbed somebody in the first round with the Kimura. So a knockout his next fight and a submission the fight before that. Yeah, this guy's a dog. So
And
we'll see. We'll see. He also
kind of
has lost
crazy he's already
he's
fighting
lost by
Paulo
knock.
Costa.
Dude, you'll never guess who his one loss was and how it was.
Do I need to look it up, or you just want to tell me?
I'll say it, bro. Guess who it was? Can you guess? It wasn't in the UFC. It was in the Brave Championship Fighting.
Is the person in the UFC now?
Yes.
Same division?
Yes.
Ranked?
One loss. Not ranked.
It's gonna be Bo Nickel, bro. It's gonna be Bo Nickel or some shit.
He got knocked out in the first round by Hamzat Chimaev.
That's insane. Oh my
4 years
god.
ago, 2019. That's his one loss.
Hey, the rematch we didn't want, we don't want, but we need.
So yeah, no.
Jesus.
The answer is just no.
That's why they threw him up there against Paulo Costa so quick, bro, so they can get him ranked and Chimaev can fight him. Oh my god. So no, that is a no from both of us. Bo Nickel is not ready for Hamzat Chimaev. What is next? Best double champ potential. This will be our last topic today. I hope everyone's enjoyed so far. But Tyler, who do you think has the best double champ potential right now?
I mean, if you look at it realistically, your options are one of two people: Alexander Volkanovski and Israel Adesanya. I'm a realistic person here. I think even in a rematch, I don't know if I would take Volk over Islam. I know that fight was super close, but now they've seen each other, so that approach probably changes, and maybe Islam gets Habib in his corner for this fight because he didn't even have him in his corner for the last fight.
Habib coaching guys makes people different. I've seen it.
I just think Adesanya is the easiest choice, right? Because if Pereira wins the belt, go up to 205, do that third fight. So if it's not one of those two, it's going to be someone random down the road. I have no idea who it would be, but those are my two favorites.
So my favorites to be double champs, obviously Volk. And I think the Izzy Pereira thing could be a double-edged sword. I think Izzy could go up, or I think Pereira could come back down, and one of them could end up a double champ. But I think that's the only logical options. I mean, who else do you have? You have title holders. Aljo's not beating Volk. Aljo's not going down to beat Pantoja. Islam might go up and beat Leon. I mean, I could see that. I don't think Islam goes down. I think he already cuts enough weight. The only other, and light heavyweight is
Islam's not going down. He's already big for that division.
He's already huge. Leon's not going up to beat Izzy. I think that, so those are the only options. Volk, maybe Islam going up. Izzy going up, or and this is if Jan doesn't win. Alex Pereira winning and going down, or Izzy coming up. So yeah, those are my options for potential double champ status. How long has it been since we've had a double champ other than Amanda Nunes?
Who was the last double champ? Was it DC? No, Cejudo.
Yeah.
Right?
Cejudo.
Yeah. He went 125, beat Demetrius, went up and beat DJ, defended against Marlon, defended against Cruz, and then retired. And then got beat up by Aljamain.
He did get beat up by Aljo.
That was actually a close fight, but still.
Yes, it was.
So yeah.
All right, everybody. I appreciate y'all for tuning in to episode 3 of the Any Given Sunday podcast. We appreciate all of our followers. If you're watching this on YouTube, or if you're watching a clip on TikTok, drop a like or a sub or a follow. Hit one of those buttons. Hit the bell. Send us some love. We will catch y'all every Monday at noon. And I hope y'all have a great rest of your day.